What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. We're going to make sure that we go every other day for as long as possible. Weekends are probably not going to be included. We have a break coming up though, so before I get started into this video, I just wanted to show you guys this. So we have a no huddle box, and there is one auto, there's 3 silvers, 10 no huddles, and there is 5 inserts and a rookie variation. So we're going to be breaking this on Saturday night at 7:30. If you would like to check that out, join the break. It's going to be Christmas themed. I have a little tree here. I'm going to wear a Santa hat. I'm trying to figure out how all out I want to go. I think it's going to be a blast. I just kind of want to do like a theme thing. I want to do something that's unique, fun. I haven't seen anybody do anything like that yet, and I'm trying to figure out just something to kind of set me apart from the other breakers, because I want to make this more than just breaking cards and being really... I mean, breaking cards is obviously always going to be fun, but I want to switch it up a little bit. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So today we're going to be talking about the boom or bust that people are talking about, and people haven't really talked about the boom as much as the bust. So I'd say, starting off here, I'm going to say that I think that it's going to be a boom, especially this NBA season. I think it is the start of another boom. As you can see, I'm going to put a picture of, or a screenshot right here of the Card Genie app, which the Card Genie app you can do a bunch of different things with, but I like looking at the indexes. So you can see the indexes for baseball, basketball, and football. And the reason that I'm going to go with a boom in this situation is, as you saw, basketball was extremely high during the season. After the season was over, all the cards dropped, which is generally what should happen, because if nobody's playing, their card value shouldn't be increasing just because they're not playing. There's nothing going on. There's nothing that should make their card go up. And if it does go up during the off season, it could be like a trade or something like that. But if there's nothing that's happened like within the sport and the card is going up, that's artificial, it's not going up for the right reasons, that's what we would be worried about, I guess, if there was going to be a bust. If these cards just kept rising even over the off season, that would have been a real problem. But you can see now that because it went down during the off season and it's already coming back up, it wasn't artificial. The prices didn't stay artificially high. They went down and they are coming back up now, that's what happens in every sport. Now that baseball's in the off season, it's way down. Football is kind of trending down, but in general, a lot of those prices are going to be higher at the start of the season, especially with hype. And then other guys, when they start playing well, those will go up as well. But especially with quarterbacks and things like that, football is just a little bit different, because if you are a good basketball player at any position, your card can be worth a lot. Same for baseball, minus pitchers. But obviously quarterbacks, the only cards that hold value basically are quarterbacks, and that's about it. So yeah, the next thing that I want to talk about is the print runs, because I've seen a lot of people talking about print runs and how there's way too many cards being printed and this and that, and I personally don't believe that whatsoever, because everyone's like, oh, there's going to be another junk wax era. We're not near that yet. If you look at the print runs from the 90s, these cards were printed well into the millions, which is absolutely insane to think about, because the hobby in general was not nearly as big as it is now compared to what it was back then. There are all kinds of people coming to the hobby now. There are flippers for the boxes. There are just new collectors. There's people in the 80s and 90s who are back into collecting now. Like there was a huge influx, especially this last year, with new people coming into the hobby during COVID when everything started. Everyone's in quarantine, and I just don't understand why people think that an increase in print runs is going to automatically create a junk wax era. I know you guys have gone to Walmart. I know you've tried to do retail runs. How often can you find product? You normally can't, and a lot of that is the cards that are being sold are being scooped up by one person and being flipped. But for the good products like Prism, Mosaic, Topps Chrome, like all these more high-end products, so to say, the print runs are lower. You're going to find a ton of Donruss in playoff football, in all these other lower brand products. If it's basketball, you're not going to find it because basketball is just that hot right now. They can't keep up with the demand. But in general, yes, the supply has increased. If you were a business, you would increase the supply as well, and the supply is still far, far away from the demand. There are people on Twitter every single day complaining that they can't find cards, which I don't blame them. But I also don't get mad that there isn't anything in stores. If somebody buys up everything that's there and they have the opportunity, I think they should do it because they're bettering themselves. The next person's probably going to do the same thing. I'm kind of indifferent on if you like to collect, if you like to flip. It doesn't matter to me. But the thing is, we're not going to have a bust, at least this year. I don't know how near in the future this will happen, but print runs are not high enough. Demand is way too high, especially for high-end products. These high-end products are always off the shelves. The only things that you guys see on the shelves right now are like Bowman Platinum, which not many people like. It's not a big product. It's not high-end. The cards resell for very little. But you have things like Prism. Prism blasters are still selling for like $80 aftermarket, which is 4 times the retail value, which is honestly kind of insane to think about. Because even Mosaic was going for like 40 or 50, maybe 60 a blaster, but obviously Prism is the highest end basically that you can find for a product for sports cards in normal retail stores. So yes, those are going to be harder to find, and I'm absolutely okay with these lower end cards being printed a ton because in general they're not going to hold a lot of value. People are still going to want to buy them resell or singles because obviously sometimes people buy products and they expect to flip them, but they basically are losing money because they don't flip for as much as they expected. But with these lower end products, that's honestly what you should expect because the lower end products are going to be printed more. You're not going to make the highest end products and give them out in mass amounts because it just kills the value for them. And they know that now. Topps and Panini, like these guys, they created the junk wax era. They know what happens if they print way too many cards. I don't see them making the mistake again, especially with now that this new season is starting. We are probably going to be getting more stimulus as well. More stimulus means more money in the card market. Card values are going to fly even more. But the thing is, a lot of people who wanted to get into sports cards, especially last year, we were already part way through the NBA season, and it was kind of late for these people to jump in. And now they've had all this time. I guess not all this time because it was a short off season especially, but especially for the NBA, during this off time, they could still stock up on cards. They could get ready before the season started. Rather than coming in the middle of the season when prices are already sky high, there should be another influx of these people coming in, and it's already been shown, especially through the new stimulus that will come. People just have a new opportunity to get into the markets again because if I was one of these people who wanted to come in the hobby during quarantine last time, especially as like a kid who doesn't work during like the school year and things like that because I'm in college, I don't have time. So it's going to be a lot easier for people to jump in the off season because prices of cards are lower. And jumping in halfway through the season and seeing how expensive these cards are, I would have thought, no way I'm jumping into this. I don't want to lose money. The prices are way too high. I can hardly even afford any of the rookie cards, and I really do not see a bust happening. And as I showed you guys in the index, that's not showing that either. Like, the high that basketball is at right now is ridiculous, and I'm pretty sure I haven't looked at it for like a couple hours. I was looking at it earlier. It's almost as high as what it was at the end of the basketball season, or at the peak, which is absolutely ridiculous because we already were like, oh my gosh, like these cards are insane right now. Everyone thinks there's going to be a bust soon. I just don't see it happening. The only thing that I see really causing a huge drop-off in card values is if we end up seeing a recession or something like that, which could come, but I really am not sure if that will happen anymore just because Obviously, we're having vaccines rolled out. People are already getting vaccinated. Things are getting worse, and they probably will for a while during this holiday season and winter. Everybody's indoors. I don't know. We'll see how things go, but I wouldn't worry about a bust right now. It's already booming. It's been in an upward trend this whole time. We're not producing millions of cards. Even the low-end stuff isn't even being produced into the millions, and there's a huge demand for these cards. So I just don't see it happening. But I guess we'll see. So that's my take on just what I think about the boomer bust, what I think about this upcoming season. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity to make a lot of money, especially if you bought during the off season, like I did. Talen, Horton, Tucker. I don't think I ever showed you guys this. There's 10 selects that I have. I have 4 mosaics. I have just a optic. I have a silver mosaic. And I'll show you guys. I bought all of these cards for less than $20, and now each select is selling for like 12 or 13. The mosaics are selling for like probably 8-ish each. I didn't check the optic, but then the mosaic silver is going for, I think, like 60-ish right now, and I'm just going to sell and get out because I know the market's hot. I'm going to make my money, and I'm going to leave because I'm risk averse. I'm going to end off by saying join the break. We're already, I think, a third filled with the break within a day, so that's pretty good. And we still have all of today, which is Thursday. We have all of Friday, all of Saturday to get this thing filled. So we still have 3 more days, and we've already got a third of it filled within less than 1. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later.